Breaking news. The situation developing right now is clearly heading toward a major conflict. The United States has instructed all oil tankers currently carrying oil to immediately turn back. These tankers have been warned not to enter Iranian maritime zones, particularly near the Strait of Hormuz, because Iran has reportedly begun detaining vessels linked to the United States. Iran has already seized several oil tankers carrying American oil. In response, instead of directly confronting Iran, the U.S. Navy has ordered its ships to avoid Iranian waters at all costs and reroute immediately. This alone shows how serious and dangerous the situation has become. This conflict did not begin overnight. According to reports, the initial escalation started when U.S. forces began detaining containers and oil tankers earlier. What we are witnessing now is a chain reaction, very similar to how past global wars escalated, incident by incident, until they turned into full-scale conflicts. At the same time, India has seized 3 Iranian oil tankers, while Iran has captured multiple vessels carrying U.S. oil. Iran has now openly stated that it will continue stopping such ships. Step by step, this situation is clearly moving toward war. A critical question arises. If the U.S. Navy, aircraft carriers, warships, and fighter jets are present in the region, why is America not stopping Iran? The answer lies in fear of escalation. The U.S. understands that any direct military strike would immediately trigger war, sending global oil prices skyrocketing. Even a few more incidents could push oil prices beyond $100 per barrel. Once supply chains are disrupted, insurance costs rise, shipping routes change, delays occur, and ultimately, market prices explode worldwide. This is the exact moment when Russia, China, and other global powers would step in. China has reportedly already instructed its banks to begin selling U.S. bonds, while Russia remains prepared to exploit any prolonged conflict. All current indicators point toward a large-scale war approaching fast. Despite public threats, former President Trump's recent warnings lack the intensity expected in such a crisis. The U.S. Navy has already briefed leadership that even a small incident could ignite a full-scale war. Iran has made it clear, any direct attack will trigger an all-out response. This is no longer about drones. In the past, Iran shot down U.S. drones, and the U.S. recently downed an Iranian drone approaching an aircraft carrier. But now the stakes are much higher. Iran claims the seized tankers were operating illegally, using false registrations. According to Iran, the oil belonged to the U.S., but ship identities were changed to bypass sanctions. If true, this exposes how oil is secretly traded despite sanctions. Israel is also pressuring the U.S. to attack Iran. However, Israel wants a decisive strike, one that topples Iran's government, not a limited operation. Israeli media has already begun discussing scenarios of a U.S. attack. Iran, meanwhile, has offered to reduce uranium enrichment if sanctions are lifted. This would stabilize Iran's currency, something the U.S. cannot afford to allow, as a stronger Iranian economy would shift the regional balance of power against Israel. Iran believes it has the upper hand. Despite America's global power, Iran views the U.S. Navy as vulnerable, relying mostly on air power rather than naval strength. Past failures against Yemen reinforce this belief. Iran has invested heavily in drone boats, swarm drones, missiles, and naval strategies, supported by China and Russia. Any naval conflict in the region would place U.S. forces at serious risk. Even Israel does not want a naval war, as it would expose weaknesses and lead to uncontrollable escalation. Iran's supreme leader has already called on the nation to prepare and take to the streets, signaling readiness for confrontation. Interestingly, the roles have reversed. Iran once tried to avoid war. Now the U.S. is trying to avoid it. America understands that even a short war of 4 to 5 days would be extremely costly. A prolonged conflict would drain resources, exactly what Russia and China want. Russia, China, and North Korea are reportedly running weapons factories 24/7, supplying missiles and equipment to Iran. In this environment, the U.S. is trying to avoid making a single mistake. That is why American ships have been ordered to turn back, reroute, and avoid Iranian waters completely. All events are now pointing in one direction. If a single major incident occurs in the Strait of Hormuz, the conflict could spread across the entire region. The world is standing at the edge of a very dangerous moment.